Welcome back to the channel. Watch the video to the end, leave a like, and subscribe to support us.
Have scientists really solved all the mysteries of the interstellar visitor Oumuamua? For years, this mysterious object that relentlessly sailed through our solar system has been a source of speculation and endless fascination. With its unusual shape and inexplicable orbit, Oumuamua has raised many questions that initially went unanswered. Now, researchers seem to be shedding more light on the mysteries. What have they discovered?
The research has led to a phenomenal breakthrough in understanding interstellar phenomena. Most importantly, what do the latest findings about Oumuamua tell us about our situation in the cosmos?
When the Pan-STARRS 1 telescope in Hawaii reported an unknown asteroid on October 19, 2017, there was great excitement. Soon after, it was clear that the new object was different from anything astronomers had seen before, and the scientific community knew they had stumbled upon something truly extraordinary. The object, identified as the first interstellar flying object shortly after its discovery, proved to be increasingly strange.
Researchers named the flying object Oumuamua, which in Hawaiian means, messenger from afar arriving first.
The discovery of Oumuamua sparked a wave of excitement and curiosity. This visitor challenged all the rules of astronomy and for the first time offered an opportunity to delve into the processes of interstellar space. Oumuamua presented scientists with a whole series of puzzles, starting with its unusual shape.
Observations indicated that the object had an unusually long and narrow shape, similar to a cigar or even a needle.
This shape, longer than it is wide, is a form that is usually not found in asteroids and comets, at least not in this shape. This unique shape and other strange features led to much speculation about the true origins of Oumuamua and the possibility that the object represented a threat. Some scientists suggested that the unusual shape could be the result of the long interstellar journey of the object, during which it might have acquired its strange shape due to collisions with other objects or some kind of erosion. It is possible that Oumuamua is just a fragment of a much larger object, and the forces of the collision that might have occurred in a place far from our solar system could also explain why this object was traveling so fast. It's not a comet or an interstellar asteroid. What researchers had to observe with their own eyes was incredible. For weeks, Oumuamua zipped through our solar system at the astonishing speed of 315,000 km per hour. A speed that made it clear that this object did not come from our solar system at all. The fastest asteroids we know reach speeds of about 70,000 km per hour and become a bit faster only when they are close to the Sun and are accelerated by its gravitational force. During its orbit, Oumuamua also approached the Sun, so its speed and trajectory were also influenced by the gravitational force of our star. However, Oumuamua behaved near the Sun in a way that is not compatible with our knowledge of astrophysics. When Oumuamua reached its closest point to the Sun, scientists expected its orbit to be influenced by the Sun's gravity in a predictable way. However, Oumuamua showed such a strange deviation from the trajectories of comets and asteroids that the change in course could not be explained by gravitational forces alone. There had to be an additional non-gravitational force acting on Oumuamua. But what is this force and where does it come from? A plausible explanation is the release of gas, typical of comets, when these pieces of ice and dust are heated by proximity to the Sun. The ice sublimates into a gaseous state. For a brief period, it was again discussed whether Oumuamua could be a comet, albeit a very strange one. The theory was soon discarded, as the object showed no signs of gas emission, acceleration without producing visible traces such as a tail or a coma, as well as the lack of visible signs of degassing made this first visitor from a distant world an even greater mystery. Some researchers have suggested that Oumuamua could be a very porous material that allows the vaporization of frozen gases inside without producing the traditional comet tail. This internal gas emission could be enough to explain the observed orbital deviation.
For most scientists, however, this answer was too contrived.
It was at this point in the story of the messenger from an alien world that the first rumors arose that Oumuamua might possess some type of mysterious control or propulsion system. A tumbling fragment of an exoplanet. Who would have thought that one day a fragment of an exoplanet would fly directly into our solar system?
If you believe the theories of Amir Siraj and Avi Loeb of Harvard University, Oumuamua is a fragment of a collision that occurred somewhere in a distant solar system.
Oumuamua might have been detached from a dwarf planet in a gigantic collision.
This would explain the strange orbit and wobble.
Normally, all known asteroids and comets rotate, but Oumuamua oscillates in a way that scientists have never observed before in an asteroid or comet. Siraj and Loeb hypothesized that Oumuamua could be part of a larger planet that was destroyed in its star system of origin, or that it broke into smaller pieces due to collisions with other objects. If this is true, this visitor would represent a unique opportunity to study part of an exoplanet. Avi Loeb has presented a whole series of possible explanations about the true nature of Oumuamua, and the Harvard scientist was one of the first to loudly suggest that we must also consider the possibility of an extraterrestrial spacecraft or probe. In particular, the elongated cigar-like shape and the inexplicable acceleration of the object as it moved away from the Sun could be important clues for this theory.
Loeb speculates that a light sail powered by solar radiation might explain the unusual acceleration.
However, this sail would have to be very thin and would be a clear indication of advanced technology. Measurements that have shown that Oumuamua is metallic inside and appears polished on the outside have strengthened the evidence for a technological origin. It's possible that Oumuamua is a perfectly camouflaged probe from an extraterrestrial civilization. This hypothesis was taken very seriously, and NASA made several attempts to contact Oumuamua by radio. However, the object itself did not emit any detectable radiation and did not respond to attempts at contact. UFO researchers and paranormal enthusiasts naturally had to think about dozens of sightings of strange flying objects that have the same elongated shape or, upon closer inspection, were disc-shaped. In reality, Oumuamua might actually be an oscillating disk and only appears to us as a cigar due to its strange movement.
Measurements revealed very early the possibility of a disk.
This fueled the UFO idea. In 1954, Italian fans saw a series of inexplicable flying objects above the Florence Stadium. At the time, hundreds of eyewitnesses described objects that sometimes resembled cigars and sometimes a disc. However, these objects were also described as clearly metallic and shiny silver.
Oumuamua remains a cosmic enigma. What do you think now?
Do any of these explanations really make sense to you? You're probably like the scientists. Many of these explanations seem plausible, others exciting or even adventurous, but none are completely certain until we have seen the object with our own eyes. During its flyby, Oumuamua was extremely difficult to study due to its thin shape, presumably black or dark red color, and the absence of vapor or radiation.
The object was extremely difficult to observe.
Pan-STARRS 1 reported the alien visitor only when it had already streaked past Earth at an impressive speed. If Oumuamua had been on a collision course with Earth, we would have had a nasty surprise. It is very likely that we would have noticed it only just before impact, which would have been catastrophic because, with a length of about 1 kilometer and its enormous speed, Oumuamua could have easily caused a global catastrophe on Earth.
On one hand, then, we can be reassured by the fact that the visitor from an alien world flew away as quickly as it arrived.
If it is a natural object, Oumuamua will fly away from the solar system never to return. But we cannot be sure when a bullet of this size and strange nature will appear again and whether the next visit of an interstellar flying object that is difficult to detect will be just as harmless. Some researchers believe we should be glad that Oumuamua does not constitute a threat and let it fly away. Other scientists believe we absolutely must discover the true identity of Oumuamua to better protect ourselves in the future. The rumors of a spaceship or probe are not entirely dismissed. It is therefore not surprising that this flying object has reignited the debate on the search for extraterrestrial intelligence. Some researchers believe that projects that casually send our greetings or radio messages into space are dangerous. We do not know who we are drawing attention to. A small shiver runs down your spine. Although experts believe there are few chances that Oumuamua really hides technology, we should still be cautious.
NASA would like to send a probe to search for Oumuamua. Will the probe arrive? Do you also think that a mission to Oumuamua should take precedence over all other NASA projects? Researcher Avi Loeb is certain that it would be worth it.
The mysteriousness of the object alone should be a reason to pursue it. The challenges of a mission of this type have not yet been fully overcome. For a mission to Oumuamua, it would be necessary to develop a probe capable of traveling much faster than the fastest spacecraft currently available. This could be an incentive for the development of completely new propulsion systems. Some brilliant minds are already working on the realization, and the concepts presented so far range from using solar sails powered by powerful lasers from Earth to completely new propulsion systems, all still in the theoretical stage. Perhaps you are already familiar with the idea of light sails thanks to the concepts of the breakthrough Starshot project, which aims to send extremely fast nanocrafts to our neighboring star system, Proxima Centauri, within a few years. The mini spacecraft are intended to be propelled by a powerful laser beam directed at an extremely thin and lightweight sail. If this works in practice, the mini probes could reach a fraction of the speed of light. Now is the time to hit the subscribe button and leave a like.